And good Friday afternoon from the Utica Curling Club. This is the Utica Curling Channel. I'm Roger Roulette here with Tim Conboy.
Hi, Roger. Thank you very much.
And we're bringing you the draw 6 now. Hard to believe we're not quite even halfway through of the USWCA National Bonspiel. 73rd U.S. Women's Curling Association National Bonspiel. And we'll be on sheet 3 this afternoon, bringing you one of our A event games. Composite, Wisconsin, they'll be playing the Blue Rocks. Kristen Smith at skip, Lisa Johnson at third, Terry Gleason at second, and Kim Susans at lead. And against Cape Cod 2, they'll be playing the Red Rocks, Kristen Longnecker at skip, Martina Heisler as third, Marina Martini at second, and Elizabeth Ableton at lead. And we're just awaiting the signal from the timers to start the games.
Still a good crowd here in the warm room, in the dining room, watching the games. Had a little snow overnight there just to make it a little winter-like wonderland here.
Well, a lot of snow overnight, actually. It's still coming down, but supposed to let up by late this afternoon. We got warm coffee up here in the booth, so I think we'll be okay. Nice and toasty here inside the warm room. So it looks like Wisconsin has got the Blue Rocks and the Hammer here in the first end. Elizabeth Ableton leading things off with a pretty good looking center guard.
Everybody should be starting to acclimate to the ice a little bit, the speed of the ice, the curl. This is second or third game for most.
Yeah, the ice makers have done a nice job this week, giving us pretty much the same conditions we've enjoyed during our club play. Good, nice, fast ice, probably in excess of 25, maybe 26 seconds. It was lightning quick this morning in the 10:30 draw. And good curl.
I've seen some curls that looks like it's 3 to 4 feet anyway. Maybe a little bit more in some spots.
You know, we're getting 5 feet on one side of sheet 2 in our earlier game, at least on one side.
Again, it's very weight specific too.
Line was really good on that come-around attempt, just came up a little bit short.
Oh, it was really starting to curl there towards the end. If it had a little more weight, it would have tucked right behind it.
Of course, the 5-rock free guard zone is in effect, the rules that we're using for this event. And these will be 10-in games.
It looks like it might be biting just a little bit. Still a little light.
Just tucked onto the rings, and looks like Marina Martini is going to be asked to remove that blue stone from play. Probably want to sit right there. This one's starting to move. And it actually over-curled.
And split off the one in the top, brought them both into the house.
Yeah, they're actually sitting 1 and 2.
Partially behind cover in the center.
It snapped a bit on there at the end, caught them by surprise.
Actually not a bad result for a...
No, anytime you can sit 1-2 is probably not terrible.
Looks like they're going to raise their blue in. A little bit too much.
Yeah, just a little too much juice on that one. Pushes a blue rock through the rings. Now a chance for Morena to sink one around the center guards.
It is nice to see people from across the country down here. From
got them pretty much from coast to coast, from north to south.
You know, we're south as far as Charlotte. I don't know if we have anything further south than that.
I bet you, well, not on the east. I'd say Phoenix is a little further south than that.
Right, Phoenix.
Out west, we've got Silicon Valley from out west.
Couple from Wisconsin. Chicago. And a group from Denver, too.
Got 32 teams at this event, so a good size. The largest event certainly we've had this season. And good to see all these folks willing to travel here during the tail end of what we hope is the tail end anyway of the pandemic.
At this point, looks like yellow has 4 in the house.
And they kind of ring the 12-foot up there.
Right, all very high. Room to draw in behind. On both sides, actually. Figure it always takes an end or two to get the draw way down on the particular sheet, figure out the curl.
Yeah, and the ice are probably going to change here the first end as well. As we get a few rocks down the paths and the frost comes off a little bit. Should pick up very rapidly.
And it's nice too seeing some curl because it allows you to do so much more with the stones.
Well, it certainly requires you to expand your entire skill set when you've got nice swingy ice. Line on this is pretty good. It's the weight. Coming down nicely. They got it by.
And that's about pretty well buried from behind the ice, look.
Just above T-line, fully buried above the corner guard. Really nice draw there by Cape Cod. Excuse me, by Wisconsin.
And Cape Cod's going to attempt to follow it right down. Same path, same broom. How's that go? It's just follow it down?
Yeah, just any sentence that starts with just is usually bad news. At least in curling. This will work out fairly well. Opens up shot stone and spins another yellow on the rings. There's a lot of yellow laying around. I think this really cries out for having a second blue in the ring somewhere.
Right, if they follow it down, they should be able to curl inside of their blue. There's some lot of cover there in the center.
I think they're looking at removing Yellowstone and trying to roll toward the middle. The question is whether they want to throw the in turn and the out turn here. This would be the lefty out turn.
It looks more like draw weight coming out of her hand.
It's not real heavy, that's for sure. Let's rock this in for third, Lisa Johnson. Just going to get a little rub. Oh boy, they didn't want to leave it there. That's going to be a double, ready-made double.
Now, to hit that properly, you need to throw an out turn at this one?
Yeah, I think you almost got to come. Well, you can take your pick here. I mean, you could go either way. I'm just wondering if you want to come inside out at this.
Gives you more room for error.
I think so.
If you're coming outside in, you've got to clear that yellow to get by.
Well, the double might be a little difficult. You got to hit this a little bit on the outside edge to get the double. So they may just be looking at the straight hit and roll and open up shot stone again. So I think the call is just to hit and roll into the 4-foot. This rock goes away. I think the rock on the edge of the 4 is probably going to stay. Going to roll too far, I think. Open up shot stone again, though. A lot of yellow laying around the rings.
But it did accomplish the one part of the hit and roll.
Yep.
It did hit.
I mean, Cape Cod is sitting second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and seventh. There's a lot of yellow stones laying around.
What's that called? What do you call that blue rock in there? The lonely shot rock?
That is very lonely shot rock. It needs a friend that can't be removed. First skip rock for Kristen Smith, looking to provide a buddy for that lonely shot blue in the side of the 4-foot.
That
plugged the hole.
did not really, I think they would have been better off if they could have gotten into the rings a little bit, though.
Well, it does the job. It's not easy to remove that blue stone. They've got a couple options. I mean, you've got a thin redirect off this yellow. That would be for a pile.
Yeah, it does look like from behind here that you could run that blue she just shot back.
You could run it straight back. You'd hate running in their color is the only problem.
Right, danger that you leave two of theirs in there.
And here's the shot, and I don't think they're looking at it. There's a drag shot. I always like looking for these on that yellow-blue combination. If you hit this blue on the high side, it looks like that yellow is going to go by, but it's going to drag to the left. I think you can drag that right onto the blue stone. You just need to hit that blue rock about half a rock on the high side. Smack it pretty good. And that yellow stone should go right onto shot stone.
And there's an example where they basically stayed on that side of the sheet, never looked over there at anything.
Yeah, usually you point somebody on your team to take a look for these. Sometimes you're second, just to be on the lookout for these drag shots. It's like they're just going to come through the hole.
Oh, little tick. Just a
And
little
another
tick.
little tick, and that stone is now lined up. And so now Cape Cod has got 2 ways in for a huge end. So Cape Cod has now got this angle raise. And if they spot it, they've got this drag shot as well. Got 2 ways into shot stone.
Wisconsin does have an fairly open port to draw through here.
Yeah, I think you'd love to sit 1-2 here because shot stone's looking awfully lonely.
Well, that's going to over curl.
And this one will over curl.
Definitely not enough weight to get where they wanted to get. All those yellow stones outcounted by one lonely blue.
Indeed. So 1-0 after 1.
It's one of those very dangerous ends there where you get all those biters or all those ones on the outside. One stone could make such a big difference in the score.
I mean, yeah, they could have been sitting a pile like 7 and then have to throw a draw. I mean, you had an open way to get in to score your single. But they never saw that the drag shot to remove shot stone. Wisconsin gets their 1, though. Cape Cod with the yellow stones. We'll have the last rock here in the second end. We have 2 A event games going on during this draw. Your feature game, which is on sheet 3. And over on sheet 6, we have St. Paul against Utica 2. Rest of the games in this draw are in the C event. After 1 end of play, Circle City leads Exmoor 1-0. Centerville leads Charlotte 1-0 after 1. Lots of singles going on. In our feature game, of course, Wisconsin's up against Cape Cod, 1-0. Mayfield leads Cape Cod 2-0 after 1. Bowling Green over Racine, 1-0. And Utica 2 scored 1 in the first. They lead St. Paul 1-0 as well. This Wisconsin team is actually a composite team composed of members of the Milwaukee Curling Club and the Wausau Curling Club. So the skip of Wisconsin is Kristen Smith. She curls out of Milwaukee, and that's her hometown as well. Curled for 36 years. And when Kristen is not curling, she is golfing, of course, the other Scottish sport. And he works in the, looks like, I'm trying to read the handwriting here, party rental business with family, and is never not knitting. Well, she's not knitting now for sure. She's definitely curling. She'd like to say hello to Dave, Susie, Jackie, and all the great volunteers at the Milwaukee Curling Club. Really nice club, too. It's If I remember correctly, 5 sheets. They have enough room for 6, but I think they've got it configured for 5 when I was there last, a couple years ago. And a really beautiful facility. And they're older than the Utica Curling Club. We were established in 1868. I think they were 1845,
wow.
if I remember. So
Wow.
they've been around a while. Third is Lisa Johnson, also curling out of Milwaukee, lives in Racine. Curled about 25 years. That's about how I feel about it. I can't lost track. And when she's not curling, trying to read this, works with the Johnson something group. Golfs and spends time with family.
Cape Cod was trying to pick this one off in the house, and they crashed on the center guard, thus removing one of the center guards. So not a bad outcome.
So Lisa says hello to her husband Bob and her kids Ian and Morgan, or Megan, sorry. Can't read the handwriting here. Need my glasses. Second, Terry Gleason out of the Wausau Curling Club from Tomahawk, Wisconsin. She's been curling for 30 years. She's not curling. She runs a business. Spends time at the lake. That sounds fun. With family and many friends. Says hello to a lot of people. Mike, Andrea, Lindsay, Tom, John, Kevin, Brogan, Grayson, JD, Quincy, Lila, Hadley, Arlo, Mom, and Dad. Well, that's a big group. And then finally, Kim Susan's the lead. Also out of Wausau, lives in Wausau, and she's curled for 10 years. She's an avid hiker, snowshoer. Likes to travel and spend time with grandkids. Says hello to Pete, Miles, Kristen, Nick, Dave, and Kelsey, Ruby, Olive, and Theo. Is that enough? Sapa, and all the folks back in Wausau. So that's your Composite Wisconsin team.
Could have brought our snowshoes down for the storm we just had.
Yeah, I could have used them this morning getting into my car. So we were staying in a hotel just a few miles from here to avoid the 45-minute drive we normally have. And it was snowing sideways, and we had quite a tromp in to get to the car in the parking lot.
I know we probably had maybe 6-7 inches where I live, and it was still coming down. So I don't know what it's out there now. I haven't looked outside. I really don't want to.
Looks like it's calming down a bit. It looked a little brighter out than it did this morning.
Wisconsin's got 2 stones in the house. Cape Cod's going to try and remove one of them.
Yeah, Cape Cod's got the last rock here. They got a couple corner guards up, but the center is pretty clogged at the moment.
Yeah, would you start with the top center and start removing stones, or would you go for this particular one?
Well, it might be getting later. You got 2 guards you need to remove. You can double peel them, and yeah, you go for the top one. All depends on whether you know your player can double peel those stones, get things open. You've got the corners in play. I mean, you've got places to hide stones.
Problem is with the centers and the corner guards out there, they've really got a narrow drop path.
Your draw path is cut down a little bit, I think especially on the intern side here. It's a little tighter. Should be room to get to the pin, though.
Oh, we'll see. Wisconsin's trying that right now. They'll show us how to do it.
I mean, the line on this is perfect. I just don't know that it's the right way. It looks like it's going to go behind T-line. Let's check it up. Going to sit right on, just behind T-line. That's going to force Cape Cod to come around and freeze to shot stone.
Right, narrowing those rings right down to 1 stone. Interesting, the lift delivery. You don't see too many of those.
Yeah, that's old school, right? We've only got a couple players left in the club, I think, that do a lift. Boy, that curled a ton. Even with that weight, that was probably back 12 weight, maybe just through the rings. It did move the rock on the top 12. And the good news is Cape Cod rolled behind the corner. And for second shot as well, so not a bad result at all. I think the Cape Cod third is a little incredulous it curled that much. And quite frankly, we are too up here behind the glass.
Right, the one before didn't curl that much. It was more of a draw weight. You think it would have curled.
Have to keep an eye on the rotations that players are putting on the stone. You do aggressively texture these rocks, and so if you don't get good rotation on them, they can take off on you. This one curled pretty hard as well. Going to get a little bounce, which I think they're going to appreciate because that covers shot stone in the back.
So is there a correlation between the amount of turns and curl?
Well, yeah, if you put about, say, 2.5 to 3.5 rotations, they'll curl fairly normally. If they're less than that, you're going to get a lot of extra curl. And if you're more than that, they'll run pretty straight. So, I mean, in my two men's teams, first and second half, I had a pretty stark reminder of that. I had a lead that was putting about a rotation and a half on, and his rocks were curling an extra 1.5 feet. So it was very difficult to ice him compared to the rest of my teams. And then I got a member of a team on this half that probably puts about 4.5 to maybe 5 rotations on, and his stones curl about a 1/2 foot less. So it does make a difference if you know your players and they put consistent numbers of rotations on. It makes a difference in the curl. And they're trying to raise their corner guard into shot stone.
They came up.
And they're gonna get shot rock out of this.
Good result. I thought they came up a little early on that, but it probably worked out pretty well.
Here's right angle.
So can you control your shots maybe as a thrower by changing your rotation?
You can certainly change the amount of curl. I'm not sure how predictable it would be, especially if you go less than, I think it's more reliable if you put more rotation on to make the stone go a little straighter. I think if you put less rotation on, it's really variable depending on how much less rotation. And if the amount of rotations are very low, you're at risk of pick or a grab. And the way these stones are prepped, I think you really need to put a minimum of 3 rotations on to get reliable results.
Well, we see that at the beginning of the season too, when they're fresh.
Yep.
That you really need strong rotation.
Yeah, when they're fresh off the sandpaper, yeah, they're crazy if you're not getting good rotation on. Looks like we're just getting a ton of curl today on this side of the sheet.
I'll bring another one right down in. Or do you want to block that path?
Well, Cape Cod's got the last rock here, so I think they're trying to score 2. If they can get to their yellow stone and angle it in, they need to move Wisconsin stone off the back 4 to score a multiple here. You have to throw pretty good weight, though. I mean, you got to throw probably at least hack weight, right, to move that stone off the back 4.
Yeah, it does look like there's room to do that, though, especially with the curl they've got on this side.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of room behind the center guard to get to this yellow stone. You want to make sure you hit about a half a rock.
It looks more like maybe board weight coming down.
It is curling. Look at this. Coming really hard.
Nope,
went between. So 1 yellow. We got ourselves a tie game after 2. Cape Cod and Wisconsin 1-1. Wisconsin with the Blue Stones will have the last rock advantage in the third end. Yeah, I like the amount of weight that was thrown. It just didn't come up enough for them. Maybe just a touch too much ice.
And you contrast that with that one takeout earlier that curled a ton with even more weight. Well, some of the people I've talked to, we've got some good compliments on the club, the appearance of the club, the event so far. They're enjoying it. We have 6 sheets for people who have not been here or haven't looked it up. We have 6 sheets of ice, full dining room, full bar, seating area on both sides.
Yeah, we have a full Bonspiel calendar. We encourage people when they're comfortable traveling to come out and try curling one of our Bonspiels. We've got nice, fast, curly ice. We're the largest curling facility in the eastern U.S. with 6 full sheets of ice.
What's nice about an event like this is you get people that wouldn't normally be here from quite a distance away. Although we just sent some people to Denver, about a month ago?
Yep, that was a senior ladies event won by one of our local teams. Just don't send me to any Bonspiels the rest of this year. Wherever I've gone, I've managed to shut down the ice plant. So we took a chance to go to a summer spiel in Pittsburgh to curl in their new facility, which is really quite gorgeous. And their ice plant died during a thunderstorm our first night there. And tried to take a trip up to Nashua. We've curled in their mix many times, and their ice plant died 2 days before we left. So, and then when we started up our season here in Utica, we had a ice pad leak. So I figure I'm just bad luck. So if anyone around the country wants to fail their ice plant, just give me a ring and I'll come curl at your club.
So if they see your application come in,
yep, say nope, sorry. Yeah, say sorry, we're full. Yep, we'd like to keep our ice plant working.
One Cape Cod stone in the back of the house, back 8.
A real nice freeze. Kim Susan's just locked that freeze on the back, and that'll force a response in kind by Martina Heisler. This one's coming over real nice too. A little heavier. Just gonna bounce and roll past.
Didn't really affect the freeze at all, though. They're still lined right up, locked in. It's like if they all do it right, they can stack 4 stones in there.
Oh, there's a lot of room on that guard. Sweepers don't want to go on this one. Been down that path a few times now, so it looks like it might be picking up a little bit. And that one's going to bounce as well. Nice big pocket back there now. Cape Cod would love to go top 4 here and get above that pocket.
See what kind of curl we get on. This one's just a little outside the 4-foot line.
Change of plans now. They're going to head back to the pocket. Wasn't going to bury. So Cape Cod elected to lock that stone on the back rather than leave it exposed. But it's behind T-line. Terry Gleason with hers. Trying to just follow that stone on down. This one's going to over curl. Now a chance to go top 4 for Cape Cod.
Put that broom out a good 4 feet. It's only curling about 2, so.
That was quite heavy.
Yeah. Still left the other one, tapped the other one, left it locked in on the back. So.
Didn't do any harm, but it's still behind T-line. Missed opportunity there. Lisa Johnson for Wisconsin. And that path's gotten very slick. These rocks are now sailing. This one's hot too, but they're going to go for the blue one. Cape Cod now lies 2, but
still a lot of room there to freeze down and right on the button.
They're behind T-line, and they've left a nice pocket.
You get to this point of the game, sometimes you almost can't throw it slow enough.
Yeah, it just feels like
you're not even letting it go.
It's unreasonably fast. It seems like you just can't dial back. This one went very quickly. Looked like that was hit weight. That was like 13-2 hog to hog. The worst part is they left a guard, so now those stones in the back are protected.
It leaves yellow a difficult shot because there's really not a good way to come into that area.
Well, they got the in-turn draw around the high corner. Looks like they're going to try to come the other way. Not sure if they're coming in or if they're throwing a guard. I think they're trying to come in through this port. Taking a boatload of ice here. And it's starting to cut.
I don't want to let it cut too fast.
And they lost it.
Yeah, they lost
Maybe
it.
they're just throwing a guard on this. Maybe they don't want to line it up, and they got it over curled enough that it didn't get lined up.
Right, I think they actually took that raise, the blue raise, out of play.
Yeah, they took that completely out of play. So now you're looking at the long blue rays.
I don't know if that was their intent to take that blue out, or if it was one of those throw it down here and we'll decide as it's coming down what it's going to be.
Well, they discussed a couple different options. We, of course, couldn't tell up here which one they agreed on. Looked like they were throwing the guard there based on the fact they weren't sweeping it. Either way, it worked out reasonably well.
There's actually 3 shots there. It could have been a draw in, could have been a guard, the hole, and it could have been block the raise. So a lot of choices in that shot.
So a run back attempt here. Need to hit this high side, and it's going to over curl again.
Like it. Is there a port to get through? Yes. Oh.
Just about, huh?
Boy, I thought for a minute there, from my angle, I thought it was going to go through a port. It might be just about a stone's width.
Perfect spot for this stone would be top 4, half buried under that center guard. Come right in here. That would be the spot. Guard would be okay. That's where I'd want my stones, right there. And bite the top 4.
Yeah, it looks right now it's yellow is 1 and 2.
For sure.
That's got a long way to curl, I think.
Starting to walk over. You need to finish it for all it's worth. You need to close that port down. That might be just good enough.
Now I I would imagine they're going for the draw down this side.
Yeah, Kristen's got an open draw here on the outturn side. You've got a couple options. Could wick off the blue if it's a little tight. Drawing against 2, last rock here in the third end. Kristen Smith looking to guard, just took off. Not very much rotation on that stone. And it just grabbed.
The handle doesn't even look like it's moving at this point.
That'll be a steal of 2. For Cape Cod, they'll take a 3-1 lead after 3. Wisconsin with the Blue Rocks will retain the last rock advantage here in the fourth end.
Bring you up on some scores on sheet 1. It is Exmoor, Circle City, 2-1 over Exmoor. On sheet 2, Centerville is 2-0 over Charlotte. Sheet 4, Mayfield, 6-0 over Cape Cod 1. Sheet 5, Racine, 4 over Bowling Green, 1. So 4-1, Racine over Bowling Green. And on sheet 6, Utica 2, 3-1 over St. Paul.
And sheet 6 is our other A event game going on during this draw.
We always have this discussion whether the Hammer team should come down with a corner guard or bring it right in. Different skips do different things.
Well, it'll also depend on what the score is as well. If you're behind coming into the rings, the other team can, of course, just hit your open stones. Once you're behind, you're throwing guards.
I think we watched an earlier game where the team did not throw guards, and they ended up there behind 3 or 4 points. They ended up in a takeout position, and they had no way of getting ahead.
Yeah, it's hard to score multiples without some guards in play. I mean, your 2 options with the last rock advantage against the center guard is either go around immediately to the 4-foot, or you can throw a corner guard and try to direct play toward the rings. When you come around the middle, it gets kind of hard to score. It gets harder to score 2, as the scoring area often gets shrunk pretty badly once you go around and the opposition starts freezing.
Right, especially if you go around and go to the back of the house. They bring one right down.
Yeah, even if you go top 4 and the opposition freezes to you there, then they've shrunk the scoring area to the 4-foot.
This one's not really curling at all. It's gonna maybe
just a lot of weight. It's going to nick it. Might go out of play just enough. You put any extra weight on these stones, they'll run straight. And now a chance for Cape Cod to go around their own center guard.
Oh, this one's really moving.
And they really didn't want to sweep for weight, but they needed to sweep to get by, and this is going to come out the backside, I think. Yep, fully exposed.
I could see probably 3/4 of it, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, it looks like they're just edge on edge just from our long camera view. Came out a bit wide on that one. Don't know if this is going to come back. It's trying. Just too far out for it to make it all the way back.
This side does not seem to be curling as much as the other side.
Well, that curled pretty good. You're right, though. I think this intern side has a phenomenal amount of curl, at least in this game.
Watching from 2 lines ago was really, really moving. A little more weight on this one, so this might go right through the house.
Looks like through the house weight. Yeah, bringing it back, just not to leave an easy hit and roll for the opposition. The shot also went a little wide, but got a fortuitous roll off the corner guard. Rolled for second shot. Krista's calling for bumper weight here.
This one's moving hard at the end.
Looks like going to be a very nice shot. Going to get a beautiful roll to the top button right behind the center guard. About half exposed. Cape Cod now sitting 3.
I believe the skip's looking to take this one out, and they did say the pro side, if we hit the guard, that's all right, too.
I definitely got to hit something here. And just a little inside out on the release, and that one just stays outside. Now a chance for Cape Cod to guard up.
Now it's interesting, they're not guarding the shot they just attempted. They're on the other side. Guarding basically a draw to the button.
They can't cover both, and of course I think that rock on the back four is the more vulnerable rock, can be frozen to for shot. On the other side, all they really have is the double.
And I think sometimes the instinct is to guard against what you just saw the opponent shoot, even though it's not necessarily the best shot, because your attention is there.
Well, that one's interesting. That's not a bad spot. A little deeper than they would like.
But I think it makes it harder to remove both of them when they're that close. Goes up farther, you get a better chance of a double.
Probably. I mean, there's no way, you can't get an easy run double here and keep your shooter. To double these out, you definitely lose the shooter if you can get them both out.
And I think if anything, you hit the top one. Well, they're going to hit their guard, so. Actually, if they come up just a little bit, they'll run the guard back.
Yeah, they're going to run it down. I'm not sure that improved things. Now they're in a better position on the right-hand side of the rings as we look down the sheet, where those three yellows are bunched. Now Cape Cod's looking to cover this path. Basically make a ring around the forefoot there. Cape Cod would probably like to come into the top 8 here, maybe cover the inside edge of their stone on the back 4, somewhere in that region. Just cut off the draw path to the forefoot on this side.
This is the curly side too, so it'll be interesting to see what it does.
Now you got to get out there, and this is maybe a little tight. And it's a little heavy. Not quite sure what to do with it. May just go through. Oh, it got a little rub. They got the forefoot surrounded.
They left one hole right in the middle there. So
They did leave a hole, and there's a little hit and roll into the pocket.
With a backer.
Yeah, so Wisconsin can hit and roll into this pocket, and that blue rock will probably be locked in. This one will go away. They might even lose this one too.
Yeah, a lot depends on if they're going to hit or if they're just going to drop it right in there in the draw. Drop it right in that pocket.
I think they're going to play the hit and roll. That looks a little bit easier.
This is, again, the curly side, so that should be able to curl it right in there.
This is about a half a rock to roll into the pocket. Yeah, that looks great. Just locked in. Now that blue's not going far. They can probably get it to the edge of the forefoot.
If they draw down to it, I think they can still cover the pin with their draw.
And that's about all that's open is the pin.
They need to draw squarely right down to it.
I don't think you want to touch these rocks. The blue's not going anywhere. If you hit those yellows, the blue is heading over to the other two yellows on the other side. Because if you pound that yellow, the blue goes there, not leaving the forefoot. And if you pound that yellow, you lose all your yellows on that
I
side.
was going to say you need a couple more rocks to hit it on the left-hand
Yeah,
side.
you lose everything.
Well, this is that simple skips draw to the button you hear so much about.
Now, they don't want to come in too deep here. They don't have the last rock.
If they freeze against that blue, though, I think they'll be right on the pin.
They will.
It's like a lot of, maybe not.
Walking over. Don't think it needs sweeping. It's all there on its own, I think.
Oh.
Didn't need help. Now they left a pocket now for a draw for 2.
Yeah, I think they did need just a little sweep to keep it from tapping that top yellow like it did.
Would have been better to leave it up high to block off that draw path to the pin. Now Wisconsin has a chance.
Yeah, I think with that weight, though, I think they had to commit to bringing it right down to the pin. This is a fairly open draw right now, down to that yellow backer.
Yep, you come right to the yellow. I think you shot. Just need a piece of the button here.
It's curling hard.
Last stone, 4th end. Kristen Smith looking to draw in here for 2. And they rubbed the guard. They lost it. A lot of rocks in the 4-foot that end. In the end, it's 1 for Wisconsin. They now trail 3-2. Cape Cod will have the hammer. The yellow rocks in the 5th end of play.
Sheet 1's all tied up. Circle City and Exmoor tied up 2 apiece. Sheet 2, Centerville, 3-0 over Charlotte. Sheet 4, Mayfield, 8-0 over Cape Cod, 1. Sheet 5, Racine, 5-2 over Bowling Green. And Sheet 6, Utica 2, 3-1 over St. Paul.
And they're about an end behind on sheet 6. They're still in there. Well, they should have played the 4th end. It looks like they just started the 5th end. They should be
There they go, posting it right now.
Should be hanging a score.
So at the end of 4, St. Paul picked up 1, making it Utica 3, St. Paul 2. At the end of 4.
Cape Cod goes right in the rings with their first with the last rock advantage, and Kristen Smith wants nothing of that. He's going to ask Kim Susans to take that out. Oh dear. Little slip there. Looks like everybody's all right. Cape Cod is going to split the house here. Try to sit 1-2 far apart. Not sure they'll get that one there, but it does pull up for a nice corner guard. Now Terry Gleason will attempt to remove that stone on the side of the house. Looks like a great shot. Almost got a good roll, too. Looking for bumper weight. This is a little bit heavier and a little bit inside out.
I could punch their blue undercover a little bit, about half a rack showing, 3/4 of a rack.
Yeah, a little split. Looks like there's a double available. Need about a half a rock here. It took off. You're going to catch the center guard.
It almost looked from my angle, almost like they pulled it out a little bit, but it was hard to tell. It was curling hard.
Thought they went a little late on that. I thought they could have, if they stayed on that early, they might have contacted shot stone. Now Wisconsin will try to put the guard back in a little bit better position than it was before. And this is going to over curl. They're going to bring it right in.
go for the top one.
Yeah, they're going to
for a double.
Yeah, going to go for the run double this time. Slash double. Over curled again. They might get the other double. Almost. They caught the top one a little thin, wound up rolling on the shot stone. Shooter's wide open though. Lisa Johnson will try to run this off.
Just successful doing that.
Just got the straight peel on the shot stone, or the second shot.
Looked a little wide there for a minute, but came in, caught the corner.
You're probably just looking for a hit and roll here. The double's pretty steep. Double's about a quarter rock. Oh, they might have that. If they're going to make contact, it's going to be very close to the double. Just a little too thin. So Wisconsin's sitting 1 and 2. So the force is on. They can throw a third one on the rings here.
Now, do you want this one covering up the one on the outside?
I think that's what they're calling, and that way they'll probably force Cape Cod into draws. Thinking about their last rock, they want to force them into a cold draw. This one's a bit heavy, so may not even hang around. Maybe just. Yeah.
It's hard to tell sometimes with the angles, but
Would like to be shot here. And I think they succeeded.
now that's far enough away to be picked off there. Would you want to come down to that? Would you want it to come down to that back stone?
I think that was probably their intention, was to freeze to that stone, Wisconsin stone on the 8-foot. That went to a good position. Increased the level of difficulty a little bit.
Right, it does give a potential jam on a hit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think Wisconsin's going to hit and roll out here if they make the shot. I'm not sure they can keep the shooter on and get rid of the shot stone. That'll leave a wide open draw for Cape Cod. Don't want to overcurl and jam this. And that's what's happened. And so now an opportunity for a deuce for Cape Cod. Just an open draw to the full 8-foot for 2 here. Well, that's why you put your stones in front of your opponent's stones. Give them a chance for a miss. You don't expect to miss, but you always want to create the opportunity for your opponent to miss. In that case, the jam gives Cape Cod an opportunity to draw in here for 2.
You're sweeping pretty hard at right now, trying to get it down to the house.
You need full 8.
I don't think they're going to do it.
And I don't think they have enough juice. So it's a score of only 1, a missed opportunity for Cape Cod. They grab the single here in the 5th. They lead 4-2 after 5. Wisconsin will have their chance with the blue rocks and the last rock advantage in the 6th end.
There again, I use that as an example of you needed full 8. A lot of times you mistake and say, okay, I need top 8. I should be throwing for T-line because the back 8 counts just as much as the front 8 on an open draw.
Exactly. I think anytime you're throwing a draw for an extra, unless there's some special reason not to, you always want to put that rock on the tee line. It's never going to be closer to the pin than when it's at tee.
Okay, we do have some score updates. Sheet 1 again. Circle City 3, Exmoor 2. So it's 3-2. Circle City against Exmoor. Centerville is not posted their 5th end yet. They're actually in this 5th end, so we'll move on from there.
But they do lead 5-0 after 4.
Sheet 5 after 5. Racine 7 to Bowling Green 2. So 7-2. Sheet 6, Utica took a couple points. So it's after 5, it's Utica 2, 5, St. Paul 2.
And over on sheet 4, Mayfield leads Cape Cod 1 by a score of 8-2. And that's after 4 innings of play.
Not sure where this one's going, other than through the house.
Like they're chasing off that blue rock, but took a little too much ice or threw a little too much weight, one or the other. Now Wisconsin's turn to split the house. just like Cape Cod did last end.
Sweepers look relieved. They got it there.
That was a great drag to get that on the rings. Very well done. Wisconsin's hitting 2. Cape Cod's going to tighten up the ice here to remove that blue stone on the wings. This looks like better line. And they'll get a piece. Not sure they'll hang around. So Terry Gleason will be asked to put back that stone that Cape Cod so rudely removed. And this looks like a fine shot. And back it goes. Pretty much the same spot.
Now, some people like bringing them down to the tee line. They're leaving theirs up high. Is there any preference here?
I like to go tee line or a little behind so that if you hit and roll, you're behind tee. When you leave them above tee line like this, it leaves your opposition the opportunity to hit and roll above tee line buried. So when you play this kind of junior deuce like strategy to generate your deuce by splitting the house early and throwing your stones into the wings, I like to go almost like back 8, tee line back 8. It's got a little wide on that one.
It's curling well from the outside in, a little bit less inside out.
Yep, and it makes sense, right? I mean, it can't be, if it's curly one way, it's probably a little straighter the other way. I mean, if you know what the rocks are doing, and these rocks are probably curl about 4 feet on level ice. If it's curling more than 4 one way, it's probably going to curl less than 4 the other way. With draw weight. Oh, they want to cross this if they can. They don't want to leave the center guard, which they kind of did. Got it a little off center, but
gave them an opportunity to hit and roll under.
And Cape Cod will continue to remove stones. This looks like really nice weight, not overthrown. I do want to get this out of the house though. That wasn't enough weight. Wasn't through the house.
They did punch it, so it's still out in the open, though.
This will give Wisconsin a chance to sit 3. That rock came down in a hurry. Kind of rule number one of takeouts. The stone you hit has to go out.
Kind of goes along with the hit and roll. Without the hit, there's no roll, or it doesn't count.
Yep.
This one's a little bit narrow. Looks like they're going to hit their own blue.
And chipped off their own guard. I believe that Cape Cod is second stone. They would love to get rid of shot rock. It is exposed, but
No, they're not going to go after it. Looks like they're going to try and freeze down to it.
they're not going to chase it.
Would you chase it at this point?
I would. I'd have confidence in making that shot.
Right, considering they just missed it on the prior shot, so they should know how to adjust.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually,
you can see the whole stone, so I don't think that's really the issue. They may not be confident they can.
Actually, the one before wasn't really missed. It was just a little light.
Correct.
So it was. Well, this is a little bit more precise shot to freeze down to something.
They might be a little concerned about running off their second stone if they miss the hit a little bit narrow, but I do think you need to take a shot at shot stone. If you sit 1-2 there, then you're out of trouble. Now Wisconsin will hit this Cape Cod rock and hopefully sit 3. I think they can hit this right on the nose and be on the rings.
Oh, they're outside so far. They might get their own stone the way it's looking.
Yeah, it's running out.
It's not going to roll, though.
Well, so you can make that shot, so they just made it.
Right. Let's see if...
See if the skipper will run it. Yep, the skip's going to run it off.
Just a good example for him. Well, you didn't try it. Let me show you how that should have been done.
Right. Well, they think they need to sweep it. Now they're off. Line looks really good here.
Going to roll out, though, I think.
It's going to hang around. Very nicely done now. Cape Cod sitting 2. Now it is possible to roll under. And I think that's exactly what Kristen would like to do, if at all possible.
A lot of weight at this one.
And these will track with any kind of weight. And it'll hang on to the rings, so I think Cape Cod's going to have to hit something, or they're going to have to draw in and lie 2. This is one of those things where I'd prefer to hit and roll. If you hit and roll out, you're only going to drop 2. If you throw this draw and you don't stuff it, then you're dropping 3. Doesn't matter which one you choose, you just got to make, right?
Right, so you're saying if you draw in and don't make the house or go through?
Yeah, so say you don't get shot rock,
Right.
then they've got an open hit for 3. Of course, you got the whole house to draw to. Hopefully the skip's got draw weight in her pocket by now.
So where would you place this stone then?
Anywhere you can't double it. And the alternative is to go ahead and hit one of these stones and roll in for second shot, and that'll accomplish the same thing.
Actually, I think they're sitting second shot right now.
Well, Cape Cod is shot, but Wisconsin's sitting second and third.
Boy, that looks toasty. Oh, they are hitting. Okay.
Yeah, they're hitting. So I like this call. This, gives you the chance of, they're going to roll it to a nice spot, too. Just don't roll it to where they can double it off. Kind of bunched them.
Yeah, they're looking at the double here.
Yeah, it's a nose double. Not sure I would have rolled that stone in behind. That makes the double easier. If they'd left that maybe a couple of feet over, then you got a steeper angle, and you can't make the double without keeping your shooter on the rings.
Right, I think they probably thought they could roll it completely under.
Yeah, but even that makes the double easier, right? So you want to leave a steeper angle. No doubles a gimme. Last rock here in the sixth end. Kristen Smith looking for a run double here for deuce. It's close. It's gonna jam. Needed to curl up just a little bit more. So a steal of one for Cape Cod. They now lead 5-2 after 6.
Okay, we can update the Sheet 2 score. Centerville is now 6-0 over Charlotte. Sheet 4, Mayfield, after 5 is 9-2 over Cape Cod 1. Cape Cod 1. And over on Sheet 5, Racine is 8-2 over Bowling Green. Sheet 6, St. Paul picked up a couple. They're now 4.
5-4. Utica 2 over St. Paul. They're also in the fifth end break, just coming out. Sorry, they've completed 6 ends, right?
Yes.
Correction, 5-4 after 6. They're in the 7th. In our feature game, Cape Cod 2 leads the Composite Wisconsin team 5-2. Wisconsin will have the last rock advantage here in the 7th end.
Well, you can't see Sheet 2, but I think there's plenty of center guards up. 7.
There's a lot of rocks. There's significant tonnage in front of one rock on the forefront. 8 guards.
That one in the house is not so lonely. It's
No,
surrounded by a lot of friends. You're guarded by a lot of friends.
And here comes guard number 9. I would say that's definitely too late to peel.
We're all pretty well locked into each other, so.
Well, nice come around by Elizabeth Ableton.
Pretty much buried. Top 12.
This is going to stop for shot. It will. Back 4.
Looks like she's calling back line weight to tap that one back.
You can see about half a stone.
Sometimes you just want to tap them back. You don't need to remove them completely.
Oh man, this one just took off.
I think we have draws today right up till 8 o'clock at night.
We do. We have 2 more draws yet to come. 1 at 5 and 1 at 8. We'll be right here.
Do we know who the 5 o'clock draw is going to be at?
I do, but it's somewhere buried under this mound of paperwork. But if you want to know who's going to be on, it's decided it will be at uticacurlingclub.org. Right on the website, look for the schedule and results link. And you'll be able to see which games are scheduled to be streamed. We don't know for tomorrow's games yet until we clarify some results for today. But we do know our 5 and 8 p.m. streaming selections.
Right, I believe when you look at the online draw board, you see the streamings are highlighted yellow.
That is correct. Can't miss them. Very nice weight there. Almost got the double. Unlock the blues.
Left the blue right out in the open, too, if they don't guard it properly.
So Terry Gleason will have to throw a guard on this. They got it over, but I'm not sure that guard is going to be in play. It's so high. There should be plenty of curl here to get to shot stone and move it.
They really, at this point, don't really have to move it. They could just come down to it.
You could.
It is behind the tee line.
Could freeze right to it.
Does not look like it's curling.
A lot of weight. That's a case where the skip probably could have used a weight call. Just a little tap, though. Didn't move it very far. I think Krista was expecting a little more curl. Didn't realize that it was probably already there.
It's where the more accurate you can be on a weight column from a sweeper perspective, the easier it is for the skip to judge where they're going to end up putting it.
Yeah, it makes a big difference in calling line if you know that the shot is a little heavier or a little lighter than called for. All right, Lisa Johnson just looking to come around and tap this back. They're getting some pretty good curl on this side too now. Look at this. Just trying. Through the ring's weight this time and just straightened it out enough. Very unforgiving these stones are if you're just a little bit heavy. Boy, I like piling another one in here. Could just go top 4 behind those guards.
Right, if you leave just a little corner of that yellow peeking out, the one that's already there.
Yep, that would be just perfect.
So then if they do hit it, they could jam on the blue.
Line here is perfect. Where's the weight?
That looks good too. It's going to
come a little deep.
Back 4.
And they left a pocket. They do lie 2, however. So another opportunity for Lisa Johnson to just lock one on. Everything's behind T-line, though. When you're back there, you're playing for 1.
If you put this on top of the yellow that's on the inside, you'd be in really good shape.
Yeah, it's in a good spot.
Yeah, they had to sweep that to get it by the guard. A little bit heavier than they wanted it, but they had to sweep to get by the guard.
Well, now Cape Cod just has to come down and sit on that. If it were Wisconsin's shot, they could score 2 from this position. Cape Cod can freeze on top.
Freeze on top, or do they want to bump it back a little bit?
I don't think you need to bump it anywhere. I think you need to freeze on top and keep them from scoring 2. What you want to happen is have your stone that's being thrown now not be removable. And have it also cut off the path to the draw path for the deuce. This is looking really good. And just lock it right on.
He's going to give it a little bump.
Really nice shot.
Very well buried, too.
Nice shot by Kristen Longnecker. That's not going too far. It's over buried.
There is a little bit of separation between yellow and blue, so.
Yeah, if you can get enough weight to push it back, you got to push it about 2 feet, though. I think it'll be very difficult to remove that shot that was just thrown. The question is, can you curl around it and get a little piece of the button?
I was thinking about if you curl and tap it just a little bit to the right.
You need to tap it a lot to the right to get your deuce. I think you can get to a little piece of the button on this side. It looks like that's where they're headed if they've got the weight. And it's just going to be light. Scoring area is pretty small now for Wisconsin. They lie shot, but it's not obvious how they get their deuce.
All right, everything that can be run back is the wrong color.
Quite frankly, Cape Cod doesn't have to throw here.
Practice a T-line draw, just for weight.
Just don't set up an in-off. Yeah, I would take that right back. Don't leave an in-off. There you go. Yep, they're going to throw it away. I don't see anything. They're going to throw it off the sheet and take their one. So after 7 innings of play, 5-3 Cape Cod over Composite Wisconsin. Cape Cod 2 with Yellow Rocks will have the last rock advantage in the 8th inning. How about a recap across the ring, Tim?
Sheet 1, Exmoor, 5-3 over Circle City. Sheet 2, Centerville, 7-0 over Charlotte after 6. Sheet 4, after 6 is Mayfield, 8-5 over Cape Cod 1.
Well, they had 9, I thought, earlier. Yeah,
okay, 9.
Yep, 9-5.
Yep, somebody's standing in front of the board there obstructing Mayfield. Okay, sheet 5, Racine, 8-5 over Bowling Green. And 6, Utica 2, 6-4 over St. Paul. It's after 7.
All right, I think we're up to date.
So sheet 2 and sheet 4 are still in the 7th end.
And we'll get those updates too as soon as they finish their 7th end of play. So Cape Cod with a 2-point lead, and the hammer this end is trying to set up the junior deuce again, but this one over curls. It just didn't want to go onto the rings like it had a force field.
Well, sweepers had that expression on their face like, "Ah, we're short."
Well, they kept running out of rings. The deeper it went, the more it curled.
Especially when you're on your 8th end, knowing you have 2 more to go. That's a lot of sweeping.
Yeah, it started to get a little rubber armed by 10 ends.
Third game in.
And maybe second game of the day, so.
Funny with all the Olympic hype there. It's funny looking at all the different ways people are imitating curling. I saw one the other day in a horse barn. They're sliding a bucket down, sweeping with the regular horse broom, trying to position the bucket in the middle of these stalls. So we're hoping a lot of that curling fever turns into membership.
Yeah, historically, clubs have done very well during the Olympic years. It's always better when the U.S. men and women's teams do well. Our men's team had a great run, but only finished 4th this year.
We had to run our open house, I think, a week earlier this year, too. I don't think they were fully into the mixed or the regular curling before we ran our open house, our recruitment.
Yeah, we had to run that a week earlier than typical because of Bonspiel, which is our premier international mixed Bonspiel, and in this event right on its heels. That come around by Wisconsin just rubbed into the open. That'll give Cape Cod a chance to hit and roll under line 2. And this one took off right out of hand. And might get the jam. And it does. Very unfortunate.
I think if they'd stayed on that, they might have been able to lick off and still come over and hit that shot stone. Hit the inside of the guard.
Well, it might have at least avoided the jam, right? So any of the above. Yep, got to run that top stone.
I think sometimes people are instinctively going to go after shot stone instead of going for that top one. I see that especially with newer skips.
Yeah, it's early in the end. You don't have to be shot right now. The main thing is have a clear path to the 4-foot with your last. And that rock on the top 12 is not your friend for a clear path. Might get lucky, get a double here. Needs to curl up a bit. Moved it. That was a really good shot.
Yep.
Moved those Wisconsin stones to the back of the house. I think this call might help out Cape Cod a little bit by hitting this yellow stone in the top of the rings. They're keeping play pretty open, which I think suits Cape Cod pretty well. That one picked. Grabbed something in the slide path. And now Cape Cod lies third shot. And another double. Well, that's a pretty good end.
About a 1 3/4 on that one, yeah.
Yep. 2 doubles. Now Cape Cod is, looks like they're 1 and 2. Nicely done. It's a little tight.
It might be better off coming up.
And Cape Cod's definitely 1 and 2. I like getting rid of this rock on the top 12.
So you want to roll over and sit on top of your yellow at this point, or?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, I suppose. Want to be a little careful. Wisconsin might come around them if you stagger them.
And finish getting rid of the one on the back. So you count that one as a double for the scorekeepers.
Yeah, Cape Cod's now sitting 3. They don't want to burn their bridges by coming around those staggered guards. So they'll try to double these 2 off. But if things don't change, they're looking at giving up 2 here.
That's a little wide, I think. Maybe pick off the back one. I don't know if it's going to hit the top one.
Yeah, set that out just a little bit, and that's only going to get 1 stone off. And picked off the last remaining blue in the back of the house. So Cape Cod's still sitting 2, and they have a chance to split the house now.
Now, is there any thought about coming down and putting it behind the blue on the right-hand side as we're looking at it? Or do you want it?
You mean for Cape Cod?
Yes.
Possibly. I mean, the downside is if you come too deep on that, even if you just come in for shot rock, there's the potential for Wisconsin to freeze to that and count out your other 2 stones on the 12-foot. I think they would prefer just to keep this open. And I think they're banking on the fact that Wisconsin will be strongly incentivized to hit something here. Either that or they'll have to burn all their bridges and come around something. They're looking at a hit and roll behind the corner guard. I think if you're going to come by that corner guard, you might as well just draw there. It's a lot easier to draw to a spot usually than it is to hit and roll to a spot.
At the same time, I'm sure going through their mind is if they remove one yellow, be one less potential scorer.
Absolutely. But they're down 2 already without hammer. If they give up another 2 in the 8th end, they'll be down 4 with 2 to play. Kind of the point in the game to decide when you're going to burn your bridges, right? Because at some point you need to try to generate a score even without hammer. And if you fail, you'll probably give up a big end. Looks like they're going to look to do a hit and flop toward the corner guard. That gives them a little more tolerance. They'll be rolling toward a Cape Cod stone here. Line looks pretty good here. Are they going to get the roll? Yes, they are. That is a pistol of a shot.
Beautiful.
They are shot.
Shot rock.
Well, I don't know if they're shot stone or they second stone. I think Cape Cod is still 1 on the other side. Very close. They'll give it a close look.
Yeah, they seem to be pointing towards the yellow, so.
Yeah, I think they're shot stone. Still, that was a magnificent shot because they were staring at 3 there. And so this will be an open draw for 2. Boy, they maybe needed to hit that stone a millimeter thinner to roll for shot.
I thought for a moment they were going to roll over and actually freeze against the yellow.
Last rock, 8th end. Cape Cod looking to draw for 2 here. Sweepers are working this. It looks pretty good. And well judged and well swept. Put it right on T-line, Tim. That's what you like to see. And that's a deuce for Cape Cod. They now lead by 4, 7-3. Wisconsin's got to generate some offense this end. They will have the last rock. Now let's take this break and take our tour around the sheets and update our scores.
Okay, on sheet 1, Center City 6, Circle City, correction, Circle City 6 over 5 for Exmoor.
It's a back and forth game.
So sheet 2, still Centerville's opened up a little bit larger lead, 7-1 over Charlotte. So Centerville 7, Charlotte 1. Sheet 5, I missed it. They're already taking down the signs. Not really sure what happened to Racing and Bowling Green. They're done. Let me jump back to sheet 4 now that they're out of the way. It's 11-5. Mayfield over Cape Cod 1. And over to sheet 6. Utica 2, 6. St. Paul, 4. So sheet 5 is done.
Looks like Racine was victorious in that one. And in our feature game, Cape Cod is up 7-3.
At the end of 8. We had a game earlier we were watching. They had 15 seconds on the clock for the skip to skate down to the other end and throw their stone. And she just about got it off. Sheet 4 is shaking hands also. Mayfield, winner over Cape Cod 1. I know when we're working the draw board, you look down there to see the game over with, look down at the scoreboard, see nothing there. And if you weren't paying attention, you can't. You have to go chase them down at the table to see who won.
Almost got the double.
I believe they're going to do a scrape after this, these games.
Yes, we'll have some fresh ice for the 5 o'clock draws.
They're finishing up, shaking on sheet 2. So Centerville, the score is posted 7-1 over Charlotte. So congratulations, Centerville. That's after the 8th end. The draw was a little deep, but they are in for shot. Cape Cod 2. It was a good takeout. Cape Cod 2 came down, picked that one off. Now sitting 3. Mostly behind the tee line, all 3. Looks like Cape Cod's going to attempt to freeze down to one of the Wisconsin stones.
Unfortunately, Lisa Johnson's freeze attempt for Wisconsin just a little heavy. Cape Cod has left a pocket behind the corner guard, so they're going to try to choke that off. Could clear the corner guard, but it wouldn't get rid of the pocket. Slowly walking over. This is going to go to a good spot.
It's going to really seal off that pocket pretty good.
Yeah, if Wisconsin wants to generate offense, they'll have to go around the stone that was just thrown by Cape Cod. I mean, if you want to generate some offense, I think you got to go around here. The bonus is you get even halfway around, you set up a jam against those the pocket of stones in the back.
Yeah, the person throwing here, they indicated looked like they'd rather freeze to the other stone.
So hard to generate offense with open freeze, because if you're not perfectly frozen, it presents a relatively easy double. You have to freeze almost on the nose.
That's not going to come over enough. It's going to be heavy, too. Going to go right by.
And that goes almost out of the rings. So the Wisconsin team been struggling a little bit with weight here this end. Awfully tough to be throwing lots and lots of freezes. Don't want to bring this where Wisconsin can do a hit and roll. Either short or buried.
It's like they're just going to block off that.
They're going to do short.
Block off that draw behind.
I think you got to go around.
Plenty of guards up there to hide behind.
Wisconsin needs a skip deuce here. And Kristen Smith, she needs to come around. Really need a piece of the forefoot to outcount those Cape Cod stones on the right-hand side. Sweeping hard to get this by. Are they by? Are they by? No, they're going to wreck. Well, you got your choice of where to put this stone. Cape Cod wants to half cover their rock on the left-hand side.
Prevent a hit and roll.
Yeah, take away the hit and roll and then force Wisconsin into the cold draw through the ports.
Either way, they'd only be conceding 1 point anyway.
Right, they're looking for a force here, realistically, and they'll take a cheap steal if they can get it. This one's a little heavy. They definitely need to take this back. Didn't want to leave an easy draw for Wisconsin.
Looking at running back that blue.
I think they're just going to draw the
draw,
port.
okay.
Crunch time here, draw against 5.
Skips draw to the button.
Needs a piece of the 4. Last rock here in the 9th end.
Don't want to give up any points at this point.
Yeah, Kristen Smith needs a piece of the forefoot.
Line looks good.
Line looks very good. Sweepers don't want to go. And it just needs to settle on the forefoot. And settle it does. Nice draw by Kristen Smith. That was a game saver there. And Wisconsin grabs one in the ninth. They trail, however, 7-4. And Cape Cod will have the last rock advantage coming home in the 10th end.
Okay, sheet one, they just posted the ninth end. Circle City, 7 over Exmoor with 5, 7-5. Circle City over Exmoor.
So up 2 coming home without is Circle City. They're looking for their first win. And over on sheet 6 in our other A event game.
It's interesting, they just posted a 12. I think they ran out of numbers there. Okay. There we go, the ninth end. St. Paul picked up 1, 6, 6. Tied game, 6, 6. St. Paul, Utica 2.
And that's after 9, so Utica 2 will have the hammer coming home tied in our other A event game. I think these are quarterfinals, are they not? Yes, these are quarterfinals. Oh, no, sorry, this is not the quarterfinal. This is just before the quarterfinals. Quarterfinal qualifier.
I think 8 o'clock tonight's the quarterfinals.
Yes. Looks like our streaming throughput has gotten back to normal. I noticed some of our viewers noticed we were getting some frame droppage there for a little while. We've had some internet speed issues intermittently arise during the day. And Wisconsin's got a couple of guards in play. They trail by 3 without last rock. They need to sink a few around these guards. Another come around attempt by Wisconsin, just not quite getting out to the broom. Cape Cod just looking to peel some stones.
Well, they gave him a gift there. Put one of them in the house for him.
It's by T-line.
Didn't really clear up that front end yet. Moved him around a little bit.
They did cut off both draw paths though to the button area.
This one looks a little heavy.
Looks a little toasty. Starting to come down though. Look at this.
Wow. Really lost a lot of speed and curled right in hard. Ended up being a beautiful shot.
Well, a little danger time here for Cape Cod. I think they're going to have to peel that blue stone so they have a path into the house. This stone right here is the one that's killing them. Going to try to come through the port and hit the rock on the back 12, looks like, and they'll be very happy if they move one of the guards.
Curls a little bit more, it's going to get by.
And got the little lucky bounce. We'll take that, says Cape Cod. Excuse me.
If I can't get one, I'll get the other one.
It was the old excuse me shot. And the bonus is they moved the corner guard a bit, so they opened up the draw as well.
This might be a little bit heavier than what they want.
It's going to be pretty nice, top four.
Okay, I thought that was going to come down to the back four.
They're going to throw a hack at this, I think. I'd be tempted to throw a draw at this stage,
I was
but
going to say put one right on top of it. Just behind it, either way. They need three.
I think I'd either be drawing or peeling here. This looks a lot more than hack. Are they going to catch a rock? They are going to catch a rock, and that will be successful. So that worked out okay.
Boy, with that weight, they could move it that far, just catching the corner of it.
So Wisconsin needs to score both of their remaining rocks. Still have a heartbeat. They're sitting 1 in the back 8. Kristen Smith looking to sink one buried top 4.
It doesn't look like it's going to bury. Maybe a little bit. Go back to what you called earlier. Maybe a hack weight shot at it.
Well, the thing is, if you throw a hack waiter and you don't move these stones out, then Kristen's going to lob another one in and sit 3, and then you're really faced with a tough shot. I'm almost thinking to go ahead and freeze on this now. Can't see much of it.
Well, if you freeze on it, you basically take the back one out of play.
You take the back one out of play, and if you're anywhere above that where it can't be removed, you're in good shape. Nothing wrong with this call. You just got to make it. Make sure you hit a rock here. It's got nice weight. Beautiful shot. Well done. She was very confident in the ice and the weight she was going to throw. Perfectly executed shot. Congratulations to Cape Cod. They advance on to the A quarterfinals. And go down the books as a 7-4 victory. So let's do one more run around the sheets before we sign off from our feature game.
Okay, sheet 1. Circle City is still 7-5 over Exmoor. And sheet 6, all tied up after 9 with at least three red stones. 3 St. Paul stones in the house over in sheet 6 right now.
Yeah, so
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them now.
They're currently stealing a pile. Unfortunately, we don't have any cameras on those sheets, so you'll have to check our website for the latest updates and results.
It's actually over on sheet 1. There's a couple blue for Exmoors in there. So that could potentially be a close game.
So thanks for tuning in. Please check our website for results of the remaining games. We'll be back here with another A event game at, I don't know if it's an A event game or if it's a C event game in our 5 o'clock draws. I think it's going to be a mixture of C and B events.
I think the A's are at 8.
A's are at 8 o'clock. So we'll see you at 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock tonight for some additional coverage. So until then, this is Roger Light and Tim Conboy. Thanks for tuning in.